Hi, I'm Claire Dowling. Welcome to the Keep Streets Live podcast, where I chat to Serena Smith, fiddle player and busker.
Hi Serena, thanks for joining us on the Keep Streets Live podcast.
Hi, thanks for having me.
When did you first start performing music?
Well, I first started in school learning classical music, and by the time I was in high school, I actually started playing in weddings solo, and in my late teens, I started learning some traditional Irish folk music, and I joined a band, and so I started doing more performances through that. And then back in 2007, I came to the United Kingdom to do my master's and joined a few bands then and started busking then as well. So
that's wonderful. How did you find the transition from going to classical violin to fiddle?
Well, for me, it wasn't too bad because I can play things by ear. I started learning I just realized it when I was quite young, and that's quite important for traditional folk music. And it was easy for me to actually pick up the style that way. So, yeah.
Fantastic. I love your website, and your blog on your website is brilliant, serenasmithmusic.com.
Yep.
And I've just been reading about your busking experiences on the London Underground, on the tube there, and the preparation that you have to do to book your pictures, etc. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah. Well, every week I go on, and it varies week to week. So, like for instance, this week I was in 161th place, which means that I don't get as many good pitches for 2 weeks' time. But so I've had like a bit of a bad string of getting in there this recently. But back in October, November, I was in like really good place. Like I was maybe 5th or 10th or 50th, and then I was able to book some really good pitches then.
So that's brilliant. I think I might have to try that sometime. I always thought that the competition would be fierce for the pitches, but maybe later in the year we'll give it a bash.
Yeah.
Have you had any safety concerns when you've been busking?
Yeah, well, generally I feel quite safe, especially in the underground, because there's cameras on you all the time and there's guards walking by. But there was like one time a lady did steal from me in Lincoln, and she was like, I couldn't tell at first if she was actually putting money in or taking money out. But she actually, the second time I could tell that actually she was taking money out, and I started shouting, and people started forming a crowd, and she only threw back £1, but she actually was shouting racial slurs at me, and so because people heard that, they gave me money back, which I probably otherwise wouldn't have otherwise given me. So I probably got back what I lost. But other times, for instance, when I was in Edinburgh recently, because I had multiple instruments, it was a little bit more, I felt a little bit more vulnerable out in the street. Because I wanted to try the Royal Mile, which is acoustic only, and then Princess Street I wanted to try busking with my amp and everything. But I never go, like for instance, out at night on my own, because it's really unpredictable what people are going to do when they're drinking and things like that. So.
Yeah, and I suppose all buskers, we when we put ourselves out there, we do make ourselves a little bit vulnerable, and it's good to be vigilant.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for aspiring violinists, fiddle players, when they first go out busking and they're using an amplifier? What's the best EQ setting to have?
Well, for mine, I actually, because my electric violin is quite flat, I put the bass up and the treble down, because the violin itself is quite a trebly instrument. But if you're doing more folk music, it's kind of better to have probably a little bit more treble than that. So.
Yeah. Excellent, thanks for that. I noticed on your website you've got some YouTube videos, lots of different styles of music you're playing.
Yep.
It's really good. You've got some Irish music, some classical, and a pop song. Crazy by Niles Barkley.
Yeah.
And you have a fantastic sound. And
thank you.
Do you incorporate the backing tracks in with that as well? And do you sometimes just play solo when you're busking?
Yeah, so sometimes I go out with other people, but generally I go out on my own because you can earn more on your own, of course. So yeah, like I met someone, I think it was a few years ago, who showed me how to set up and play along with backing tracks, because before I was just taking my acoustic fiddle out and playing Irish tunes on that all the time. So it really helps to vary it. So
yeah, definitely, and it's good that you can do that. Have you had any experiences whilst dealing with authorities in Nottingham?
Not really. Like a few years ago, I actually signed up to get a busking license there, and it was really just a formality. But so a year later it expired. My license expired, and I called to ask how can I get it renewed, and they were really unsure about who was actually in charge. So they said, well, we've already checked you out, so it's fine, just go out and busk. And no one's ever asked me for identification or anything like that if I've got permission. And because I know where the pitches are, like, I don't really bother anyone, I don't think. So yeah, that's
good. I think at the end of last year, Nottingham brought out a public space protection order for 2 small areas in Nottingham for a ban on busking. So one of them is next to the town hall. I thought that was quite interesting. I wondered if it had affected you at all. But.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm happy to just go wherever the spots are, because I just want it easy to go out and just earn some money. I just want to have a calm, nice time out busking. So, but I know for others it's kind of like they go out, it's a bit of a struggle, because like maybe like all the space should be free and open space for everyone to share, really. So
yeah, absolutely. What are the favorite things? What are your favorite things about busking?
Well, I love being out in the sunshine and the fresh air, and the freedom to just do what I like. It's better than like being in a stuffy office, 9-to-5 job where you have to be somewhere at a certain time. Someone tells you what you have to do, and I really prefer just playing my own thing. And I really love playing my violin. So yeah,
that's
doing
fantastic.
what I love. Yeah,
it's great. And what are your least favorite things about busking?
Sometimes it can be a bit difficult with the weather. In London and on the underground, it's not such a problem. But if I don't, for instance, get any good pitches like now, and I have to stay up in Lincolnshire, or I've got gigs, so I have to stay up here, and I want to go busking, you can't always do it unless you find somewhere covered. So yeah, and it's also unpredictability with money-wise as well, because some pitches are better than others, and there's a bit of a learning curve as well. Now I've kind of I know in London, I know what the pitches are going to be like, so I pretty much get an average all the time. And of course, some places like up in Louth, or I tend to get the same each time. But other places, depending on the time, it can be quite unpredictable, so it can be difficult sometimes.
Yeah, I suppose a good thing about having a pitch to go to, like if you have to book in for a place on the tube, is that it's good to know, if you're going to be going there on a certain day. Because one of the things I find quite hard about busking sometimes is to motivate myself, to go to different place. You don't know what to expect when you get there, and that can be a bit off-putting. So the good thing about doing the tube is that you know where you're going on that day and at that time.
Yeah, definitely.
We used to find that when we played at the markets, we'd book in with them, and it was really quite good. We'd know on Thursday, whatever, we're going to go play Holmfirth Market, and it was nice to have a little bit of routine in it as well.
Yeah, sometimes if you have to motivate yourself, you just at home you think, oh, do I want to get out? But if you have somewhere that you have to be, then it's much easier to be like, yep, I'm going to go and I'm going to go busking now. So. And
it's nice that as a busker as well, we get to mix it up a bit, and we do have some unpredictability along with the the routines and stuff as well.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you so much for talking to us today on Keep Streets Live podcast, Serena.
Thank you for having me.
You're going to play us out. We're going to play one of your MP3s. It's an Ed Sheeran song.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
All right, take care. Goodbye.
Thanks, you too.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.